And so I go into the meeting, and it's him and an attorney sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, Steve, this is the hardest thing, 30 some years. He's like, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Like, we were close. Like, his daughter babysat our kids, like that kind of thing. And he's like, I have to fire you." And I'm like, "That's okay." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that's fine." He's like, "You don't seem very surprised by this." I'm like, "Hey, like, this is not a surprise to God. It doesn't seem negotiable. And like, great, this is the time for my next step in life." So I got up and hugged him, and the attorney's sitting there like, what is going on right now? And
You're not letting me be an attorney.
yeah, right. And so I hugged him and left.
Wow. So it went from 2 weeks on that show to 1 week later, we're done.
Yeah, that's it.
Isn't it amazing the paths life will take us through? So you started the well, and before we dive too deep, just sort of high level, when you started it, did you have fear? What if it doesn't work?
No. I'm too dumb, too ignorant, too naive, my wife has to remind me this is not normal. It's like, we're going to do this. And I'm to my detriment, I'm 2 years, 3 years ahead. I'm like, we are already here. We've already succeeded in this, which is a blessing and a curse. Like, there's pros and cons to that, Frank. There are days when I look at the bank account, there was a very specific day back in November, the week of Thanksgiving, where I'm like, there's $5,000 in our company bank account, and payroll is on Friday, and it's a bigger number than that. I don't know how this is going to work. And God gave me a verse. In fact, my Bible back here is open to the verse. It is sat on this verse underlined since this day in November. And it's Deuteronomy 28:12. It said, "The Lord will open to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give you the rain to your land in its season, and bless all the work of your hand. You shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow." So that thought of like, all right, where am I going to go borrow to get this money? God was like, nope, you're not borrowing. I got you. And again, this is probably not what you, like, I wouldn't be a good CFO. I don't know where the money came from, but we made payroll. We've made payroll every single week. Every one of our vendors has gotten paid. Everyone's gotten paid. At our peak, we had 48 people getting paychecks from us on our team.